A 12-year-old girl was shot and killed by a constable in Pennsylvania who was attempting to evict the girl's family. It's a terrible story, and unfortunately the girl who was killed is Ciara Meyer. The constable was serving an eviction notice to them on Monday morning at their apartment at Penn Township, Pennsylvania, when the girl's father allegedly protested and then pointed a rifle at the constable's chest. The officer pulled the gun and squeezed the trigger. The bullet went through the man's arm and hit his daughter. She died at the scene. Now, look, I'm inclined to believe the constable. I don't think that he just took out his gun and just shot at them and shot and killed a 12-year-old girl. It's just such a devastating story because here's a guy who is obviously violent, takes a gun, threatens an authority figure with it, and as a result, his daughter is shot and killed, okay? She was transported to Penn State Hershey Medical Center via helicopter. I'm sorry. So the father was because he was also shot, but he didn't die. He's been charged with aggravated assault, simple assault, terroristic threats, and reckless endangerment.
So this is not your regular story about injustice regarding police, because the cop got a rifle in his chest, right? So if ever there was if it's true, and we'll see, this is just the police version of the story yet.
Right.
We don't have the other version of the story. But if it's true, it's certainly understandable that he'd pull his weapon when a weapon is pointed at him.
Of course, yeah.
Right. So the part that frustrates me is if that dad didn't have a weapon of his own, his daughter would be alive now.
Exactly. This is why it's so important to have background checks. You want to make sure that people I don't know how he got his gun. He might have legally obtained his gun. I have no idea. But if we had a federal background check that was actually enforced and was a little more comprehensive than what we have in place now, I assure you that individuals like this couldn't legally access a gun.
Yeah, and look, of course I'd go much further than a federal background check, but that's not the state of play in America right now. So unfortunately, little girls like this die because everybody's got a gun, everybody pulls the gun, and when you pull a gun, you know what guns do? Guns kill people. And they just killed Ciara Meyer. If there was no gun in that situation, she would almost certainly be alive.
By the way, guns are supposed to be a Second Amendment right because it allows us to protect ourselves against the government, right?
That's their theory.
You did a great job protecting yourself against the government and getting your 12-year-old daughter shot and killed in the process.